So let's establish who's who.
It's not a joke, I promise. We really are both Matthias, and we're both from Italy. I'm from Visa. I've been working in payments for the last 10, 11 years of my career. I joined Visa 2 years ago. Before that, I was at another scheme, which we will not mention tonight. But very excited to be here. I remember the first time that I met Marcos and the team in our office. It was the summer last year. So this just gives you a sense of like how much these guys believed into it and how it wasn't that easy to be where we are today. But these guys believed into it. We're trying to keep up with them. And the reason why today there is a card here is because of their work. So really excited to be here, and thank you for the invite.
And to add more context, Mattia and his team have been like instrumental to some of the milestones that we have achieved. We started working together, I think it was after ECC, so maybe around August, September. And then since then, thanks to the help of his team, we've achieved what we have achieved, and we're able to launch in February. So thank you, and thanks for all the help that you've given us. So now, let's jump straight into it. So Mattia, you're part of the Visa crypto team. What is the focus of the crypto team, and how does this align with the broader, Visa strategic objectives?
I would say if we take a step back, as Marcos explained to you how Visa works, we represent a network made of almost 15,000 institutions and almost 80 million points of acceptance, where everything needs to work. Because none of you wake up and say, oh my God, I'm so excited that today I'm going to pay my tube, how I'm going to pay it. You just pretend that the payment works and the transaction goes through. And that's the power of the thing that we are trying to do. So if you think about the value proposition of Visa, and the ultimate goal is make sure that we allow users and merchants to connect to each other and allow a bar to sell their beer as well as a tube to sell a ticket. So the two key elements are this moving money, and if you go down into the crypto space, we can probably link into on-ramp and off-ramp. As of now, the most common way to buy crypto NFT, it's through a card on any of, let's say, the exchanger. So those transactions are facilitated by the schemes, and there is a lot of work behind to make sure that the frauds rate are low, the approval rate is good, and you can get what you want, which is your payment. And then there is all the innovation part around off-ramp, which an example could be Gnosis Visa card, which is one of the most innovative one, or some of the cards that you probably are using through some of the exchanges like a Crypto.com or a Coinbase. So this is I think is the angle where the crypto product team is trying to make the traditional rail a bit better. And then the ultimate goal, which is one of the key strategic projects for the team, is stablecoin settlement. So as you know, Marcos explained very well how the technology, how old it is, and it's really like that. You don't understand it. When you make a transaction, at the end of the day, we send a PDF file to a bank saying all your cards spent, all of this, send us the money. And then they send us the money on a bank account in a bank that sits in Germany. And then we process them. And then 3 days after, we say, oh, now we need to send the money to the merchant. And that's why it takes 2 to 3 days to do it. And so if you think about it, the authorization layer, it works perfectly. Because within 5 seconds, you can get a yes or a no, and you get your goods. You move away. The money movement behind is another story. It's an old legacy, but at the same time, it still works because no one here has found a random transaction that did the 10%. Yeah, it works. It can work better, and the way we're doing is through stablecoin settlement. So we have a couple of pilots running across the world where the idea is keep the authorization level as it is, but then move the settlement piece into blockchain. And that's the ultimate future of the people that are leading the crypto team. And Gnosis Pay, for us, is an example of how do we make this end-to-end. And there are so many things that can go wrong, which is why we cannot afford to go at the speed of a fintech, but we're trying to get there.
Cool. So just to build on top of that, so you talked about settlements through the settlement platform using blockchain. what are some of the main innovative projects or some of the current use cases in which you're using blockchain to enhance payment solutions? Is there anything else that Visa has done in the space that is very proud of?
Yeah, we announced a couple of pilots. One in Latin America, in Argentina, with a company called AgroToken, where basically the farmer can directly convert his grains into tokens and use those tokens to fund for the transaction. So basically, he can pay with his card for stuff, like whatever his supplier or anything he needs, and then it's automatically pulled out from the grain that he converted. So that's like an interesting use case where like we're allowing SMEs, underbanked, to use blockchain to get something faster and cheaper. So that's an example. Another one is we just completed a pilot in Hong Kong where we basically allowed 2 banks to move funds through the Visa blockchain, like through our own infrastructure. So tokenized deposit is another area where we really feel like there is an opportunity you can program the transfer, you make it faster, you can make it cheaper, so reduce the risk. So tokenized deposit, some innovation around what we're doing in LAC, but the key thing that we need to land is stablecoin settlement. Because if we fail to land that, then we are at risk, as Marcos was saying, of remain behind. And the ecosystem wants to move money faster, cheaper, real time. The bar that is selling you a beer he doesn't want to wait 3 days to get the money. He wants to get them straight away. And if we don't get there, someone else will, and then things might change.
Okay, cool. When you say two clarifications, so what does LSC mean?
Sorry, Latin America, in Argentina.
Okay, cool. And okay, cool. So then doing all of these, innovative projects and right now using blockchain as a new technology coming in to essentially you're integrating something new with an established, payment systems which have been running since the 70s, as Marcos said. Like, what are some of the challenges that you've seen, and kind of how have those been addressed?
First of all, I think we cannot get it wrong. Like, think about it, like tomorrow, all card transactions don't make sense for everything, for all the billions that have been spent yesterday. Like, it would be an absolute chaos. Like, we are regulated by our databases are protected, like the CIA or whatever. Like, we cannot get it wrong. So, which means that like the speed at which we can do innovation, it has to be slower. So, the pilot that we're doing around stablecoin, think about, you go from a system where like we take a PDF file with all the transaction, we send it to a bank, someone in the bank look at it, press a button, send the money. And so it's not only Visa that needs to change things, it's the entire ecosystem. You need to talk to like established bank, they need to say, okay, from tomorrow, what I've been doing for the last 30 years is gonna be different. And of course, they're not gonna be in the front line to do it. And you need, the other angle, which I think is interesting to think about, is like it has to work everywhere. Like you cannot do, let's do a pilot that works only here in this pub, okay, whatever. Like you need to be, the problem of launching something at the scale is like, okay, when you think through, you need to think through that the thing needs to work in 18 million merchant location. And there are going to be a lot of nuances, card present, card not present, 3DS, what if, like, today we process payment in 160 currencies and we settle with banks in 25 currencies. What if this bank wants to pay in stablecoin but the merchant is not able to? Like, we need to implement so many things, and like a lot of people are going to tell what Marco said is like, okay, it works, why changing? But then there is also the recognition that like if we don't change, then someone else might do. So we are getting there slowly. We're live in Asia Pacific. We're going live in the UK as well. We're going to talk to these guys about it. So stay tuned, because I feel that this is going to be one of the key things that are going to restructure the entire, ecosystem around payments.
Cool. So good to see that Visa believes in blockchain. So, so one last question is, what does Visa look for in a partner, in a possibly like a blockchain partner? What are some of the key aspects? Like, let's say that we have some of the some founders here tonight with us that want to, talk to Visa and engage with
Absolutely.
your team. So, what should I do?
So first of all, it's not up to Visa to pick up winners and losers. because we are not good at. We are not VC, we don't invest. Like, we are gonna try or back up everyone that we believe has a good idea, as a serious team, and wants to play by the rules. So that's another thing that Visa doesn't like. Oh, we're like, you need to be regulated, you need to have an idea, like, you need to be ready to answer those type of questions. So be regulated, be willing to play by the rule, and have a use case that you want to solve, because Visa would have never been able to do what these guys have been able to do in the last 6 months. We don't have the resources, the capacity, or or even the vision probably to do it. So find a use case that you feel is worth, and then we will always sit there, listen. We have many people that can help you shape it, and are gonna be there on the challenges, and don't be scared of the fact that it's gonna take time. We can break the rules. There are rules, and these guys are here to prove that like rules can be broken, but like we need to break them in
The right way.
In the right way. So that would be like reach out, and don't be afraid. Also, someone tells you no, go for it, and at some point, maybe you're going to be the next Gnosis.
Cool. Okay. So thanks, Mattia, for being with us.
Thank you for the invite.
Let me ask one question. Do we have like 5 minutes for a question from the public or not? Cool.
Hi, I'm Tom. I'm from 21Co. My question to you is, now you guys are using USDC, right, for a lot of different pilots. Do you see USDC as the best partner as a stable coin, or do you foresee USDC could also enhance further on the regulatory side? For example, now that Solana has launched token extensions, right, there are some token extensions that allow the stable coin or different tokens, so even enhance with the number of addresses that can interact with the stable coin, right? Do you see USDC as the end product that you want to use it in the future, or do you see there are like further potential tokens that you can use as well?
I think USDC is the first step. In the same way today we allow 25, like we settle in 25 currencies, like we don't pick up the currency. We want to be the infrastructure, like we're gonna play the role of the network. And the goal of the network is expand as much as we possibly can. Like these guys, they already want to, like everyone, as you said, wants to do more than USDC. The other angle is gonna be what is, like, it's not gonna be easy to do it, and we're gonna prioritize those projects that are fully regulated. So for me, when Mika is gonna come into place in Europe and we're gonna have the fully regulated like stablecoin, then those are gonna be the first one that we're going to onboard.